A historic day for Chicago Public Schools as its new leader joins the district as the first ever Latino CEO. WTTW News reporter Matt Masterson joins us now with more details about new CPS Chief Pedro Martinez. Matt, welcome back.
Hey.
So what do we know about Pedro Martinez?
So like his predecessor, Janice Jackson, Pedro Martinez is a product of Chicago Public Schools, having been raised in Chicago after moving here from Mexico as a boy. But unlike Jackson, he does not have a history of in-classroom teaching experience or a degree in education as Jackson did. He instead jumped right into the school management side of things, serving first as Chicago Public Schools Chief Financial Officer under Arne Duncan before leading multiple different school districts in the south and west of the country, including San Antonio Independent School District, which is where he's been superintendent for the last 5 years. He's now taking over a school district that's several times larger than anything that he's led before, but he's made clear his first goal is to ensure that in-person learning within Chicago Public Schools continues throughout the school year, even as COVID numbers continue to move in the wrong direction.
Now, today's announcement, Martinez spoke about unity. Take a look.
This is the time for us to come together. We have to be united. We cannot be fighting within ourselves. The enemy is COVID. The enemy is the systemic racism we've had in our country. The enemy is poverty. There are many enemies. We are on the same side.
Now, Matt, we know that Martinez is coming in at a time that COVID cases are on the uptick. A battle over safety precautions is brewing between the district and the Chicago Teachers Union. Any clue on how he's going to handle the year amid this pandemic?
Well, as I said, his main goal is keeping in-person learning continuing. And as he demonstrated when he was leading the school district in San Antonio, he's willing to take the steps that he believes are necessary to make that happen. While CPS already has a mask mandate and a vaccine mandate for its employees, those measures are specifically outlawed in Texas. But even so, when he was leading the San Antonio School District, he imposed similar mandates in the face of those laws, which led to state officials actually taking legal action against both him and the district. As for how he'll handle the CTU, Martinez said today that as long as the two sides have an understanding, a baseline understanding that continuing in-person learning is the main goal, that they'll be able to hash out whatever other issues may pop up along the way.
Okay, Matt. And, you know, today I also spoke to the teachers union or the teachers group from San Antonio to learn what they said about Martinez as well. I spoke with Alejandra Lopez, president of the San Antonio Alliance of Teachers and Support Personnel. And she calls Martinez's agenda there pro-charter. She says that his arrival saw a lot of projects with outside charter operators as well as outside partners. He served in San Antonio for 6 years, and Lopez says that there were lots of anti-worker policies, some that systematically removed policies that they thought worked for workers and protected workers. Here's a bit of what she said to me.
Really, he has concentrated decision-making power, very top-down style. And, you know, for workers across the district, that has meant micromanagement in a lot of cases. And at the moment, for example, we are experiencing a very high number of vacancies because essentially workers in our district feel undervalued and underappreciated.
Lopez also says that, you know, his experience as a manager and not as an educator, which she thinks is more important. They have a lot of respect in San Antonio for the CTU, and they feel that the union here won't tolerate the kind of what they call authoritarianism that they feel like they experienced under Martinez's leadership. And in fact, we did hear from the CTU today. They released a statement saying, quote, despite having no classroom or in-school experience, Mr. Martinez will have to be an independent thinker, a far better partner and collaborator than Mayor Lightfoot, and work with stakeholders to keep them safe, earn their trust, and meet high expectations. So, Matt Masterson, thank you for joining us. Obviously, something that you and I will be watching going forward. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brandis.
And you can read Matt's full story on our website. That's at WTTW.com/news.